is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I'm your host, Sock from Detailing Made Simple, and today I have something special for you also. Today I will be reviewing the 25mm DA from DIY Detail. This is their cordless one. Now, a quick history is I did purchase this with my own money, and I did get this through the DIY Detail Labor Day sale. It's just that I am reviewing it, and also the House of Rags that sell this. So this is why I'm reviewing the DIY Detail 25mm DA. And yeah, so pretty much you all will get the pros and cons on what I like about this 25mm cordless DA, and that way to see if it's good for you and based on the price point and all that other stuff. Now, just a quick rundown. I've only used this on 3 vehicles. And you will see on the overhead just 2. One was on a Kia Soul, a red one, and then on a super oxidized 2017 Honda Civic. And yes, we put this through its courses. And the third vehicle was just a regular vehicle, nothing too crazy. It just had light swirls and scratches, and we just did a 1-step. So that is pretty much the history on this. Now, I've waited 8 months to get this, pretty much close to 8 months, because I did get this during the Labor Day sale, and then it took about 2 weeks for it to ship. So I've only had this for about 2 weeks, but we already did 3 vehicles with it. And yeah, so let's talk about it. So it comes in this nice little box in here, and it comes nice and snug, pre-installed already with a 6-inch backing plate. And it comes in just like that, just like their corded polishers. And they do give you an Allen key and also a 5-inch DA backing plate. Now, just a quick note as well, I just got the bare tool only because I already have Makita batteries. DIY Detail says you can use Makita batteries, which is true. I have it already installed on here, and I've been using the Makita batteries with my SPTA polishers for a little over 2 years, as you all know from my channel. And yeah, so in terms of the weight, now let's get into the review. So that's pretty much it. So that is pro number 1. I want to say is that you don't have to get the actual batteries and the tool itself. You can just get the tool itself if you already have Makita batteries and just go and pre-install this, or if you have an SPTA and you're already using the Makita batteries, just put that on there. Now, so that is pro number 1. Now, what is pro number 2 is this does actually feel balanced. Now, at first when I did purchase this, at first I was just like, you know, it kind of looks funny with the battery on the back. It is what it is. And I started to become a believer with using this, and it felt nice and balanced compared to the SPTA, where a lot of the weight was on the bottom with the battery. So yeah, so that is pro pretty much. Number 2 is nice and balanced when you're polishing, even on vertical panels, and it does feel like you're actually holding a corded tool. Now, in terms of power, that is where this really excels at. And I've had Tim McLaughlin ask me how I like this this polisher, and I told him I really enjoy it. I've never really used it past speed setting 3 or 4, and it has a lot of torque and a lot of power, and I just like it. I just like it a lot. Now, in terms of the 25mm DA, what does that produce? Now, the 25mm DA helps with the longer the stroke. You typically get a better correction because it's more an aggressive throw. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't finish with this. A lot of people, I know DIY Detail always says, you know, you use a rotary to finish. You can use a rotary to finish. You can use a rotary to cut, and you can use a rotary to finish, or you can use a DA to cut, and you can use a DA to finish. Just use whatever is preferable for you, and that's pretty much it. You can literally do both with one, but for me, I kind of think the rotary cuts a little bit faster, and that is just how I roll typically. But yeah, so that is that. So that is pretty much pro number 3 is the power. There is really no lack in power in terms of when the batteries charge and stuff like that. Now, one thing I do recommend, if you have the Makita batteries, use anything above 5 or 6 amp batteries, because if you're going to use this past speed setting 4 or 5, the battery will drain a lot quicker. So that is pretty much it. Now, what is pro number 4 is they give you the option where some other companies don't even give you 2 backing plates. They just give you one, and then you have to purchase the other. So that is pro number 4. They give you a backing plate with an Allen key, just in case you already have 5-inch pads and you prefer a 5-inch tool. then you have the option to change it to a 5-inch backing plate. So that is pretty much it in terms of the pros. Now let's talk to me. I'll talk to you a little bit about the cons on what I think. So it is a cordless tool, and to me this does feel a little bit heavier than the actual DA, and the regular corded DA is slightly heavier as well, and that is because you're having an extra weight right here, right? That is just going to be the nature of the beast. Typically corded tools are heavier than the cordless tools. Cordless tools are typically heavier than the corded tools. Sorry about that. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. Now in terms of the vertical panels, is going to feel regular, same as anything else. So when you're using this on flat panels, it feels great, but then when you're using it on vertical, it is slightly heavier. Now that is, again, it's a pro and a con, right? It's a double-edged sword. You want convenience of not having to put a cord over your shoulder and polish the roof, polish the sidewalls or the side fenders or vertical panels. You don't have to worry about it flapping on the paint itself. But then guess what? This is something that you've come up with. So yeah, so for con number 2 is, in terms of actual battery life. Now, as I said, this is again a double-edged sword. Is use something that's more than 5 or 6 amp batteries, just because anything past speed setting 4, you will eat up a lot of juice and you will need that extra torque. Now the good thing is that this has enough power, so once you hit, say on the 3rd level on your battery, say you have 2 bars left on your battery, just speed it up to speed setting 5 or 6, and then that way you're gonna have the same torque that you had on speed setting 3 and 4, just now on 5 and 6. So that is a good way to keep in mind about this. And if you are only using this on speed 5, like I was on this super oxidized 2017 Honda Civic, what was happening was I had to use this to get that extra cut and cut a little bit quicker. And what was happening was I was draining the battery a lot quicker. So if you're using this on speed setting 5 or 6, you will drain the battery before the other battery is even able to be charged at half of a percent or half its full battery life. And this is a speed charger for the Makita battery. So yeah, so that is something that is con number 2 in that aspect. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. Now, everything else I truly enjoyed. I can't find any other faults in terms of this. It's just a great overall tool. And now I know I did give 4 pros, but this will be the 5th pro. And for me personally, it is the actual price. So if you were to get the bare tool, and DIY Detail always has a sale, whether it's a 10% off or 20% off, guess what? You get the bare tool and you already have the Makita batteries at set. You just buy the bare tool, it's about 170 bucks. That is a phenomenal deal. And you can't go wrong with that. So that is pretty much the pro. It's also the price point. And you get a lot of power, you get a lot of torque for a great price. And that is pretty much it. Now I may do a little voiceover on the extra clips of me using this, but overall you see the results that I got up there. In terms of vibration, I know some of y'all will ask about vibration. It does have a longer throw. It's a smooth tool, but you do get a little bit of vibration. That is just because it's the throw of the machine. It's a 25mm throw machine, so you're going to feel that, and it's just natural. So that is pretty much it. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. This is a phenomenal tool to have, and gave you all my pros and cons. And if I was to choose as a business or even as an enthusiast, I would go for this tool. It's just so easy, having to put the cord over the shoulder. It is super balanced. You got a lot of torque. Batteries charge fast if you get the DIY Detail, or if you have the Makitas. Just use this on speed setting 3 or 4. It's more than enough torque to do cutting and even finishing. Speed setting 2 would just be your finishing. So it's just a phenomenal tool overall. Now, if you want to purchase anything at the House of Rags or DIYdetail.com, use code DMS at checkout for 10% off. And that is pretty much it. And I will see you all on the next podcast. Now, let me know what you guys use at the moment, and if you were keeping an eye on the DIY Detail polishes, because these always go out of stock. And yeah, So, peace.